Welcome to everyone around the world and to all my subscribers. I apologize for all the remakes of this video. Everything's going wrong. YouTube is having issues, all sorts of things. So I'm here once again remaking the video. I would like to say first, however, my book has been approved and it has been published by Amazon, and around the world globally it's on all the Amazon markets. Okay, so it is on sale globally on Amazon. Now, the title of the book, because I keep forgetting to mention this first, the title of the book is long, but it is The Systematic Theology, Christology, Theodicy, and Apologetics of the Original and True Christianity, Scripturally Proven, the subtitle of Correcting the Apostasy of Modern Christianity. The author, Enoch the Witness. Use that as my author name. Okay? It's 197 pages long with 19 chapters. Basically 20 something chapters, but 19 major chapters. The chapters are the whole book is broken up into 5 logical sections. One is Christology, then major theology, minor theology, theodicy, and then discovery and prophecy. So like 5 major sections or so. In each section there are a number of chapters, and each of the chapters, I wanted to create an index for the book. So what I had to do was go through each chapter and kind of like segment areas in each chapter under different topics, right? And I didn't really want to do this originally, but the effect that it would bring is something that I did want. I wanted an index. So I had to kind of like chop the chapters a little bit and segment them into subtopics. But the beauty of that is when you get the book, if you're trying to find something specific out, you can open up the content page, which is like 4 pages long because it's so comprehensive. And if you want to know something, say, about Jesus, that's Christology. So you look in section 1, Christology, and then you look at the different chapters there. There's Trinity, who and what was Jesus, and so forth. And you can narrow down your search. And with all the different subtopics listed there in the index, you could probably find what exact page to go to. So that's why I wanted to incorporate this index into the book. So it's going to be really, really good. I wanted this book to be a simple guide for everybody, whether you're Christian or not Christian. This book will educate everybody on the true Christianity, and that's what's so important. The aim of this book is to spread the true theology of Christianity around, and that's why I went through so much hard work over this last period of time to get the book done. The cool thing is, make sure I'm covering all my bases and saying everything I need to and want to, but it just happened to be, I didn't plan it, that my book was getting finished around the time of Passover. So I was like, why not push really hard, stay up really late, you know what I mean, and get the book done so that I can have it submitted for publication on Passover, right? It wouldn't be approved and published on Passover, but it would be submitted. So I thought that'd be kind of symbolic and cool. So I achieved that, and I got the book submitted. And what I didn't know is that out of the 2 reviews that need to be done, the first of the 2 reviews, for it to be published, happened that night as I submitted it. It does an electronic review right then and there, and I never knew that. So that was kind of cool. That was like one little blessing. So before I even submitted it, it had already been half approved. It just needed, as they say, 72 hours for a person to actually review the book for issues. Now, to be honest, I was expecting it to be rejected for a number of little tiny reasons, which I may have to correct. Not necessarily, but I was expecting it probably to be rejected because it'd just be too good to be true, you know what I mean? But by the time I woke up the next day, the book had been approved, reviewed, and published around the world. So that was a miracle. The fact that it got approved and published while I slept is pretty miraculous, if you ask me. I was expecting to wait 3 days. I thought maybe it would be out on Good Friday or Easter, you know what I mean? Which would have been nice. But so it's pretty cool that I got to submit it and I got approved basically on Passover, on Pesach, on the true Passover, Pesach. So that's pretty nice. But like I said, the book's 197 pages. It's a simple guide. Everything is scripturally proven. It's systematic theology, which means that it breaks down every single aspect of theology, every conceivable thing. Okay, that's what this book does over the 197 pages. Okay, and it's got such a main focus on Christology. I put that into the title. But also, Theodicy is throughout the book. Theodicy is the act of explaining why certain things happen, certain, hard to understand or hard to wrap your head around things like suffering or death, or why does Satan do this and this and that there, right? So theodicy is throughout the book explaining explaining away these difficult things that cast a dark shadow on God, right? So I actually cast the light, you know what I mean, and drive all that difficulty and understanding away. So it's theodicy throughout the book and apologetics throughout the book. So that's why I had to have such a comprehensive and long title. Um, a lot of books in this category have long titles like this. It's for a reason. But like it says, it's of the original and true Christianity. So not of fake church Christianity and all that bogus stuff, but of the true and the original and true Christianity. Okay, and scripturally proven. That's the beauty of this book. And the subtitle says it all, correcting the apostasy of modern Christianity. Because modern Christianity, for near 2,000 years, has been turned into an apostate, heretical pile of nonsense. And this book here is going to correct all of that. I really hope that millions of people get this book, not so that I can make lots of money, but because so that the true gospel, the true theology rather, can spread around the world. I believe Jesus is coming back soon, and I really hope that everybody can have access to this book for the sake of their own soul, and so that they can help others learn the true theology. It's critical. But anyways, very, very quickly, I'll go through, just off by memory, the different sections and chapters in the book, okay? So give people an idea of what's in the book. So section 1, I remember, is Christology, okay? So everything to do with Christ, Jesus, and all that there, what defines him, that's section 1. Section 1 has the Trinity, which is the first chapter. That takes about an hour to read that chapter alone. It's about 30 or 40 pages, okay? It's a very big chapter. I think it's the biggest chapter in my book. And then after that, we have a chapter on who and what was Jesus. Very important, right? And then after that, who and what is Satan? Okay, and then after that, what did Jesus come to do? Another very important thing, right? Whole chapter on that. Everything scripturally proven. Okay, and then finally, why did Jesus have to suffer and die? And also, I do believe the final chapter in the first section is basically it can be summed up as, did Jesus fulfill the messianic OT principles and messianic criteria? Okay, so that's the whole first section on Christology. Those are the chapters, and within those chapters in the index you'll see all these different subtopics, right? So then we go on to section 2, which is major theology. Okay, and in this chapter here, just trying to think, I may not be able to remember them all in order, but I know we have the gospel. Okay, so what is the gospel? Then the first one is atonement and sacrifice, baptism and forgiveness. That's the first mega chapter. That's like, sorry, one sec. That's like about 20 pages or 20 something pages. That's a very big one. Okay, so we have that, and then we have the gospel, and then after that we have, if I'm not mistaken, yes, are we saved by faith or works or what? And then after that we have a chapter on the Old and the New Covenant. Okay, so that's major theology, and then that's section 2. And then section 3 is Theodicy. So in section 3 we have 2 chapters, which are life and death explained. That covers the original sin theory and all these other things, right? So we got that chapter, and then the chapter on is hell eternal. Now, sorry, I have an itch. In that chapter, it actually branches off into many things like the law of justice and many things. So that's for Theodicy. The section on Theodicy explains all the difficult things in life and everything. Okay, very, very interesting chapters. I like them. And then after that, we have the next section, which is minor theology. Okay, and in this section here, we have a chapter on the virgin birth, and we have a chapter on the Passover. Okay, is Jesus the Passover and all that? And we have a chapter on speaking tongues, or is it babbling? Then a chapter on tithing in the church. Make sure I get all of these. Now, these are some of the smaller chapters. The virgin birth is a little bit larger. Virgin birth, I think there's like 5 or 6. Virgin birth, the Passover, and then tongues or babble, and then tithing in the churches, and then anointing flowing in the churches. Then we have keep the Sabbath, Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's the 6, or it was 5 or 6. So these are minor theological points, right? Some people consider them very important, but minor theology. And then after this, we have the final section, which is discovery and prophecy. And this was a bonus section and chapter I decided to throw in the book. Originally, I was just going to write another book after this one, but the Lord could come back anytime, and look what COVID's doing to the world, the disease, the virus. So I figured, why wait? You know what I mean? Why go and write another 200-page book? Just put it in this book here as a chapter, a bonus chapter. So I put it in there, condensed a lot of information down. Most important thing, right? All the important stuff. So that's that final section there. That's going to be very, very interesting as well, and inspiring. So that's the layout of the book. 197 pages, $22.99. Like I said, American dollar price. And I urge everybody to go out and order the book now if you want it, because a lot of people in the world, companies are protesting, groups, whatever, are protesting Amazon deliveries. They want to shut down Amazon deliveries. But right now, Amazon's going crazy with deliveries. So if you order the book right now, you're far more likely to be able to get it. Okay, just considering what if this virus thing goes more crazy, right? So I got to order my own copies of the books. So I urge everybody to go do that now, as soon as you can. Again, for English-speaking peoples, the book is actively right now. It's on all the sites, including the American, but for some reason you can't find it on the American when you search for it. So I urge you, if you're English-speaking, go to the UK site or the Canadian site for now. I will try to contact Amazon and get that rectified. Okay, so this book is very, very important. I urge you, when you get this book, also keep in mind it is copywritten. It's got ISBN and all that, so don't plagiarize it, or photocopy it and give it out or whatever. But when you get this book, lend it to people. You know what I mean? Or get people copies, right? And give them to your local churches and stuff like that there. Not to create debates, but to create positive change. Okay, if every church in the world got a copy of this book and they read it, the next day the church would either shut the doors, being confounded, or they would start teaching the true theology. Okay, and the true theology is almost opposite to what the churches have been teaching. It's so important, okay, because if Jesus, like it says in my book description, right? Let's see if I can read the book description. Yeah, here's my book description, okay? It says, the unfortunate truth is that Christianity has been the most misrepresented religion on earth. The original theology has been lost to the ages, being replaced by doctrines of men, which utterly contradict the Bible in apostate and even heretical ways. What does the Bible actually teach about important matters, such as the Trinity, atonement, sacrifice, baptism, forgiveness, and hell? The truth will shock you. This book is a methodical guide designed to help anyone achieve full and proper understanding of the true theology of Christianity, with each point is scripturally proven. It is critical that everyone, both Christian and not Christian, learn these truths, for Christianity has been horribly disfigured and misrepresented over the last 2,000 years. These theological issues have caused countless Christians to lose their faith, and countless peoples have refused Christianity based on a bad perception of what it teaches. Jesus told us that the end would not come until the gospel had reached all the nations. Yet the true theology never got to reach the nations, since it was corrupted in the first centuries of Christendom. My prayer is that this book will reach the whole world, so that all mankind, both Christian and non-Christian, will receive the glorious light of the true theology of real Christianity. All the darkness and confusion will be lifted away. Pure understanding and awareness will flow. Wisdom will blossom in fruit. I urge you to have the courage to test your beliefs in the fire of this refining wisdom. It could very well save your soul. So that's the description on the back of the book. So anyways, folks, that's all I need to say. I do believe. There you go. So God bless you all. Everybody take care. Let me just take 2 seconds and think if there's anything else I need to say before I forget. No, I think that's it. I think that is it. All right, folks, take care.